Hello, everybody. Father Jeff back. Taking a break from the Guadalupe Report to film a special edition, how to set up a prayer space in your home. Wanted to get to you before the second Mass that we had where we were separated, the second weekend where we no longer had public Masses. I wanted to get this to you as soon as I could. We're here in my chapel in the house. Obviously, I'm not expecting you guys, and the content of the video is not going to be saying, set up an altar just like this. The first half of my video, though, I thought I would give you a tour of my chapel. I thought you guys might be curious to see that, and it might give you some ideas of some things. And then the second half of this video will give you some tips of what you might be able to do at home in the meantime. But first, here's my little chapel. Whenever I don't have a public Mass over in the church, this is when I celebrate. This is where I celebrate Mass here, or unless I have a Mass in a prison or nursing home or whatnot. Just while this COVID-19 stuff is going on, the Archbishop has granted me temporary permission just so we don't overcrowd the Blessed Sacrament Chapel for all of you over in the church. So our Lord is present here, very gracious to the Archbishop for that permission, temporary permission. Here are some highlights. So this crucifix is very special for me. And this was given to me by the Knights of Columbus council that I mentioned in a previous video as well, that they actually brought it over from Germany when they were under Nazi oppression. So when they came over, left Germany to the US, they brought that crucifix with them, and the Knights of Columbus from St. Susanna very generously gave that to me. Very humbling, incredible crucifix. I'm so honored to have it. These candlesticks were actually given to me by my late grandmother, my mom's mom, when I was something over by St. X High School, Boys Town, Girls Town, something like that. When they closed, she got those candlesticks, and she's been holding on to them for me for years. So it's awesome to have her here with me. Here's a wooden missal stand made by a good parishioner up at St. Susanna. It just kind of opens and closes and holds the missal up. Here's my Roman missal with all the prayers of the Mass with some pretty pictures in it. I've got, this is a pall. This kind of rests on top of the chalice. Here's my little temporary traveling chalice that I bring around. So this just keeps flies out or incense smoke from falling down. Some friends of mine tricked me and got this for me. I was looking at them and picked which one I wanted, and all of a sudden they swiped in and said, "Oh, we're going to get it for you." Like, you guys tricked me. And so this is the little chalice I use, and a little smaller than my other one that I have over in the church. Little glass cruets, little water and wine. Pour really well. Little hand towel. Got St. Michael. My middle name is Michael, so got my patron St. Michael right here. Always got to have Mary. I've got a lot of Mary in this little chapel, as you'll see in a moment. Our Lady of Perpetual Help here. Got Mary over here on this wall with holding Christ after he's come down from the cross. A very beautiful painting that a very kind family gave me. And then we will swipe over to the corner, just very briefly because it's really messy. If I could get the camera to just kind of get this whole area. Got Divine Mercy Jesus, got some statues. That statue niche got displaced, and my pile of books and mess. And yeah, so let's get off that. Got my sacristy closet with all my stuff that's not very clean, so I've got my alb covering that right now. Got an old seminary poster to remind me to pray for all the men in seminary, even though that's not up to date. And then, of course, the new edition, a canvas that I got when I was down in Mexico City of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And last but not least, cute little bell. Won't ring that because it's probably pretty annoying on the clip. Okay, so that's my chapel. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Maybe it gave you some ideas, some tips for creating a chapel at home. I would say first, just have a designated space. Try to pick a space that you don't do anything else with. So that would be rule number one, a designated prayer space where all you do there is pray. I know that can be hard depending on the size of your home, and we often use everything. But as much as even if it's just a corner of a room, it just really helps to make that transition into prayer. Even when you're watching the Mass, as best as you're able to, and if you're using your TV, you can only do so much. But that just really helps make that transition into Mass. When you have that space. So in this space, I pray. And it's really helpful. And number two, get some holy images. If you have a crucifix, you can move to that location, or if you have a location already in mind, and I'll move so you're not looking into my hallway, as I just realized. We're amateurs, okay? Awkward moment. And get some holy images. If you have a crucifix you can move, or your prayer can be near a holy. Even if you have to print something out, just print out. There's tons of images online. Print something out. Get an image of a crucifix or a cross. Get an image of our Blessed Mother. Some favorite saints of yours. If you have statues, you can move them to a space. If you have some candles to light, candles are always good. Just get some holy images. As images, because our Lord took on flesh, images help us, are that window into heaven. So they help us to pray. They remind us of all of the saints and our Blessed Mother and our Lord and the Most Holy Trinity, and they just facilitate that prayer. So have that designated space. Find those holy images, and then when you go there, turn off the phone, turn off the devices, or if you have to use them for your prayer, whether your prayers are on them, just put them on that focus mode or the do not disturb, whatever, so that way those phone calls and the texts aren't coming through. Just doing your best you're able to in order to encourage that space. Those are the main tips that I would encourage. And then keep your Bible there, keep your book, stock up on your good spiritual reading, and then use it. Doesn't make any sense to create a space of prayer if you're not going to end up using it. So I encourage you to use it. And this is something that can continue well beyond this stay-at-home order, this time where we no longer have public masses. So I encourage you to create this sacred place in your home, a prayer space in your home, really just through these three simple things of just a designated space you don't use for anything but prayer as best as you are able. Have some sacred images that can help facilitate your prayer and lead you into that prayer. And then lastly, just cut off distractions as best as you are able. Turn off those phones or put them on do not disturb or focus mode, whatever it may be. Hopefully this was a little helpful for you, a little enjoyable, a little more on the practical side. But take care and God bless. Signature departure. Peace out from Father Jeff.